join us. So we'll be dealing with a sigma notation. And then if your background there's background noise, you're more than welcome to mute yourself. But if maybe where you are seated, there's no noise, then you can unmute yourself if that's still okay with you. So yeah, we'll be dealing with sigma notation. Ne? So yesterday I told you what the sigma notation is represented by a Greek letter. To those who still don't know, this sign, it's a Greek letter, and this Greek letter it's capital letters, capital letter S, and then it means sum. Ne? It means sigma. Sigma means sum. So when you speak about sigma notation, you must not get confused. Ne? Sigma notation. So this sigma sign it means sum. Ne? It means sum. So okay, there's someone who's sending a message. Let me see. He's saying yesterday what? So why don't we do the example you sent us yesterday after the session? Yesterday after the session. Yeah, I'm still there. I'm still taking you through some basics. So it simply means to say I'll be doing that part of an example. Ne? So okay, let me do this one. Because the one that I sent yesterday, maybe some of you wouldn't even understand it. Just because of maybe it's a bit it's level 2 example. So let me just start with the basic one. If they give a sigma and then they say I is equals to 4, I think if I can start here, then everyone will now understand. I is equals to 4. And then here I'm given 5i. We're given 5i, 5i plus 1. 5i plus 1. So if they give you something like this, the question will always be evaluate. So let me write here. They will say, oh, evaluate. Evaluate. So them telling you to say evaluate, it simply means to say you must calculate. Ne? When they're saying you must calculate, this is what they're going to do. And again, there are some of you who didn't understand what I was trying to say when I say, or when I meant determine the number of terms. So always when they say determine the number of terms, the question doesn't want us to determine the number of terms. But if that's the case, this is what they're going to do. When I say the number on top of the sigma, subtract the number at the bottom of the sigma, you always add 1. And if you still remember, based on what I was explaining yesterday, I said here, it's not going to be always equals to 1. Do you see that this one is 4? It's not going to always be equals to 1. So mobile field I is equals to what? I is equals to 4. So if they can say determine the number of terms, you're going to say the number at the bottom, the number at the top of the sigma, minus the number at the bottom of the sigma, you always add 1. But the question, it doesn't, please listen to me. The question doesn't want us to determine the number of terms. So I'm just explaining that. Let's find the number of terms first, then we're going to evaluate. But finding the number of terms is not part of what we need to do here. I'm just trying to explain so that you can understand the formula that I basically wrote yesterday. So that is 7. Number at the top of the sigma, you always subtract the number at the bottom of the sigma, which is 4. You always add 1. So this basically means to say our n, which represents the number of terms, it will be how much? You say 7 minus 4, you add 1. But let's do 7 minus 4, adding 4 plus 1. We are getting what? It's 4, ne?
4, sir.
What? It should be 4.
Yes, sir.
Yes, it's 4. So it means to say here, our number of terms is going to be 4. So now you understand that our number of terms gets a 4 for that sigma. So it simply means to say, at least when they give you the sigma notation sign here, you can be able to get the number of terms based on that formula that says number at the top minus number at the bottom, you always add 1. Ne? And then now let's now deal with the question properly the way it is. So they're saying evaluate. Them telling us to say evaluate, you understand that about evaluate, you basically do what? You basically find the sum, because I've explained to say sigma notation, it means to say you determine the sum. And then I've made a hint to say always you must develop a series. You must always develop a series. You must always develop a series. That's a hint that I'm giving you. Develop a series, not a sequence. Develop a series. You must always develop a series. So who can tell me what is the series? Then we get the correct answers here. Who can tell me what is a series? Anyone? Okay. When I speak about a series, remember I told you the difference between a series and a sequence. A sequence, if you still remember, I said it must have a commas in between. And then a series, it must have what? Series, it must have plus signs. Yes, plus signs. So, yes, it must have plus signs. When I'm saying you develop a series, always you must start here on what you're given. So that is I is equals to 4. Ne? And then you'll have I is equals to 5 again. How many number of terms, if I can ask you?
4. 4, sir.
4. I is equals to 6, as well as I is equals to 7. Do you see? These are those terms, they're going to be 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. Ne? So the reason I'm saying you develop a series, you start always here. Let me show you. You always start here. Don't make a mistake. You always start at I is equals to 4. Don't start at I is equals to 1. There's no 1 here. You must always start at what you are given at the bottom of the sequence. I is equals to 4. That's why I'm saying I is equals to 4. Then you go to I is equals to 5. Then you go to I is equals to 6. Then you go to I is equals to 7. The reason why it's 4, 5, 6, 7 is because of you always start at I is equals to 4. Take in consideration that you are having 4 number of terms based on that formula. That's it. That's why there are 4. Then after that, this is what you're going to do. You're going to take this part here. You're going to take this part. Do you all see this part? You're going to take it. You write it. You're going to write it here. 5, it's 5i plus 1. Then you put brace. I said you must develop a series. So a series, it must have plus signs. Then you say plus. Then you say 5i plus 1 plus, and then you say 5i plus 1, lastly, plus 5i plus 1 plus, so you put dots here to show you this series is still continuing. And then after that, what you're going to do, I'm making it much easy for you guys, ne? So that you can be able to understand. And then after that, this is I, that is I, that is I, that is I. And get it? So it simply means to say we're going to substitute where there is I, we're going to start by substituting 4. Then which is here. And then where there is 5, we're going to substitute 5 where there is I here. And since this is I is equals to 6, here where there is I, we're going to put 6. Since this is I is equals to 7, here where there is I, I'm going to put 7. So that's basically what we're going to do. Now let's do. So you'll say brace. And then remember it's 5. And then I'm having my I. Since I'm having my I, what am I going to substitute with?
4, sir.
4. You write 4. Then after writing 4, you write close bracket and they say plus 1. Put brace, you are done. It's a series, it must have plus signs in between. You say plus, say brace, you put 5. Then you say open bracket. What am I going to substitute? Now I'm going to substitute I is equals to 5. So that would be 5. You all see? Then you say plus 1.
Yes, sir.
Continue. You say plus, you put 5. And then now my I is 6. I'm going to substitute 6 where there is I. And you say plus 1. Lastly, I'm going to say plus. Then you put brace. Then you write 5. Where there is I, you're going to put 7. Open bracket, 7. And then you add 1. Just like that. That's why I'm saying you develop a series. Series, it must have plus signs in between. And then, as you now continue, 5 times 4, that is 20. So it's going to be 20 plus 1, which is 21. You write 21 on the first brace.
21.
Yes. And then you'll say plus 5 times 5, that's 25, plus 1, that's 26. Right, 26. And then you say plus 6 times 5, 12, 18, 8, plus 1.
Plus 1.
31.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
31.
Yes, 31. Plus, and then you're gonna say what? Guys, mute yourself. But if there's no, can you see myself? I didn't mute myself, but all of you can hear me, and there's no background noise. Can you see? There's no interruption. So if that's the case with you, you can still unmute it. But if the are siblings or people in the house, then please mute yourself. And then if you have a question, that's when you unmute yourself. You tell me your question, then you mute yourself again. For the sake of not interruptions, let's continue. Then you say, we said 5 times 6 is 30 plus 1 is 31. Then lastly, on the last braces, we're having 5 times 7. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35 plus 1 is 36. Am I correct? Is it 36?
Yes.
Yeah, it's 36. So,
36.
yes. And then after, you're going to write it properly. As in like that summation sign to show that you're working with the sum. And then now you're going to do like this. You'll say, therefore, the sum, write it like this. Sigma, that shows that sum, right? And then here it was 7 on top of the sigma. And then here it was I is equals to 4. Okay. And then here it was 5i plus 1. So here it was 5i plus 1. I'm going to say equals to. Then here, let me show you. You're going to take the whole of this part. You write it here. Hope I'm loud and clear on that one. Let's now write it. So remember we had here that is going to be 21 plus 26 plus 31 plus 36. And then we say sigma, therefore 7 sigma I equals to 4 into 5i plus 1. It's equals to, then you add everything. Let's add 21 plus 26 plus 31 plus 36. What are you going to get?
114.
114. As easy as that. So 114 should be your correct answer. Any question? Any question? Any question, guys?
No question.
No question.
No question so far.
Okay, Hadren, do you understand?
Yeah, I'm a little bit lost on 5i plus 1.
Oh, it's a good question. So 5i
Yes, can
plus,
you kind of elaborate there?
okay, 5i plus 1 is the one that you are always going to be given. We don't calculate it unless if you are
Okay.
unless if you are being asked to calculate it. So this one here, 5i plus 1,
Yes.
we are given. That's why the question says evaluate. But there are some questions,
Okay.
yes, there are some questions whereby they would want you to write your series in sigma notation. I'm still going there. So I can't show you now at this moment to write a sigma notation if you are given a series, if you don't maybe understand this. So that's how basically I teach. I start to give you the basic first to see how we work with sigma notation. Then when you have now understood it at the later stage, I will show you how to write the sigma notation. But to those who have practiced who are ahead of me, this part which is 5i plus 1, we get it from the nth term, Tn, the nth term or general term of an arithmetic sequence. So you will see when I will be showing you how to write it. And then the reason why I was AD is because of, remember, this is sigma notation. Sigma means sum. Sum means the summation means the addition. Do you see?
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, covered on that.
Okay, cool. 𝗓𝗏𝗾𝗀𝗆, do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. There's someone who's connected with the Samsung SM A14145F. I'm not sure the name. Do you understand as well? Samsung
Yes,
user.
sir.
Okay, cool. Akwenga, do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Lesio Mukwadi, do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
Cool.
Yes, yes.
Pelwente, do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Prince Tabiana, do you understand? Prince, do you understand?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. Lastly, Tirelezo, do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And everyone that maybe I did jump, I hope you also understand. Now let's do example number 2. So I'm going to do example number 2. I will get used to this. It's not difficult. It just needs you to understand how basically I work. And then that should be easy to you. So let's do the other one. So they give you sigma. So always don't forget, on your notes, you must always write. The moment they give you sigma and notation, you must always develop a series, not a sequence. A series, it must have plus signs in between. So here on top of the sigma example number 2, we are given 5. And then at the bottom of the sigma, we are given k equals to 3. K equals to 3. And then here, we are given 3k. 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 And then the question will always be evaluate. And you know the tricky part with sigma notation, when they're saying evaluate, they don't even give you a hint of what you need to do. But since you are working with sigma notation, you understand that sigma means sum. So you must actually add something. How do you know that? You develop a series just like that. And then another thing I told you to say here, it's not going to be 1. But whenever k is equals to 3, they can use I, they can use k, they can use m, they can use any letter which they want. Now let's determine the number of terms. The number of terms, don't forget, is number at the top of the sigma minus number at the bottom of the sigma. You always add 1. Ne? So it means to say our n is going to be number at the top of the sigma, which is 5, minus number at the bottom of the sigma, which is 3. You always add 1. Then it means to say your number of terms, it will be what is 5 minus 3 plus 1?
4.
Is it 4? Not 3.
So it's actually three.
Yeah?
3.
It's actually
Yeah. It's actually gonna be 3.
3.
Yeah, it's actually
yes.
it's actually gonna be 3. So since this is gonna be 3, it simply means to say as you are developing a series, you must have at least 3 of those terms in between the series. Ne? 3 of those terms in between the series. And then after you understanding that you must have 3 of those terms inside the series, you'll start at k is equals to 3. So let's develop a series. Don't forget, it will be k is equals to 3. When you're developing a series, just because of our number of terms, there should be 3. And get 3. Then you say k is equals to 4. Lastly, you say k is equals to 5. As easy as that, because there are 3 terms. How did I know how many terms are there? I've used the formula that I taught you yesterday. It's very important. Then after that, we're going to develop a series. When now we are developing a series, you take this, remember, that is 3k. And get so we're developing a series. So you write 3k here. You write 3k there. Since it's a series, you say plus. You write 3k again. Since it's a series, you write plus again. You write 3k because there are 3 number of terms. So in my series, I must have 3 terms in between the plus signs or in between the series. And then here we'll put k for k equals to 3, the other one for k equals to 4, for k equals to 5 in the concept or in the notion of us making sure that we develop a series. Then you continue. So we're going to say 3. And then for k equals to 3, it simply means to say in a place of k, I'm going to put 3. Right? Then you say plus, put another 3 here. And then the second one, it will be for k equals to 4. This simply means to say where there is k, I'm going to put 4. So you write 4 here. And then you say plus, that is going to be 3. And then in a place of k, I'm going to now put 5 because my main agenda here is to develop a series because me developing a series, I'm adding. Me adding, it's a sigma notation. Sigma notation simply means to say I must add. How many times? I must add 3 times in between the series, just like that. So here, 3 times 3, we all know that that is going to be 9. Plus 4 times 3, it's 4, 8, 12. So that is going to be 12. Plus 5 times 3 is 5, 10, 15. That is going to be 15. So that is the series that you have developed. And then after that, you now write it properly. In the context of you writing sigma, right? And then that will be 5, the number on top of the sigma. And then the number at the bottom of the sigma is k is equals to 3. And then here we are having what? We are having 3k. And then don't forget the next step, what should you do? You want to take everything here. In this series, you write it here, right? So that's the next step that you must do. So we're going to say equals to. So our series now it's 9 plus 12 plus 15. And then after that, your final answer now, you'll say, therefore, sigma, you can write it properly. Show them that you know your story. 5. And then here it's k is equals to 3. And then here it's 3k. It's equals to, then you add 9 plus 12 plus 5. What is 9 plus 12 plus 5? 36.
36.
Yeah, 36. As easy as A, B, C. You get a mark. So that's how sigma notation works. Any question, anyone?
No, sir.
Okay, there's no question. Now, let me give you one. I'm giving you some few minutes to do this one. And then we'll just correct it now. I want to see if you were listening to me. I want to see if you were actually listening to me. Yeah. The good part is that I'm going to give you a lot of homework. So it's not going to be different from the first one, which I said. So the textbook that I'm using, there's more accessible. So do this one. But wait. Do this one. I know all of you will get it right. I know. Based on what how I've just showed you. And please forgive me. My handwriting is a bit ugly. Né? But yeah. This one I know. You'll get it. I've explained it. There's nothing more different from what I was explaining. It's one thing. So here they're giving you 6, the number on top of the sigma. And then here they're giving you I is equals to 1. And then here they're giving you what? It's 3i plus 2. Okay, it's 3. I hope I didn't do this as an example, plus 2. 3i plus 2. Let me check if it was not the same. For that one, it was 5, 1 plus 1. 5i plus 1. So yeah, it's cool. So do this one. Do this one, which I wrote with the blue card. Evaluate. I'm just giving you, let me see, time. Because we're working with time. It's 9:53 now. Because we are not the same, and I'm looking at that. I'm only giving you 6 minutes to do that. Now it's 9:54. I'm giving you 6 minutes to do that. Any question?
No, sir.
Do you all understand?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah, cool. Let's do that one. Let's do that one. Let's do that one. By 10 o'clock, you must be done. All of
Sir,
yeah. How what?
how much time are you giving us? How much time are you giving us?
6 minutes only. By 10 o'clock,
Okay.
on the dot, you must be done.
Okay, sir.
Okay, cool. Five minutes left. And at 10 o'clock, all of you, since you must be done, you must send your where you did your workings. Where you did your workings, please send it on the group. When you are done now, don't send it, ne? Because someone might be writing. But from 10 o'clock, all of you, please send your work on the group. I wanna see also. After the session, I'm just gonna check it. But though we will be doing it together now on the live session. But if as I'm speaking now, you are done, don't send it now because there's still 4 minutes to go. But at 10 o'clock, you can start sending your work. And if you are done first, try to double check if you didn't do a mistake. Ne? So at 10 o'clock, you will be sending your work on the group, all of you, one by one. Where you wrote, you just simply take a picture and then send it, just like that. And have courage to do this because you are the one who's going to write. Or what? If possible, if you need to ask, then you can ask. Or when now he's saying 10 minutes left, and I believe by 10 o'clock we'll be only left with 6 minutes. So within that 6 minutes, I will be able to explain it. That and then we will be done. That will be the end of today's session. So I don't want to teach a lot of things because some of you maybe you did metric long back, and then if I'm gonna pamper you with a lot of work, you might get lost because some of you were connecting on TikTok, so you've learned a lot about sets. So yeah, we are just taking it one step at a time. So at 10 o'clock, you send your work on the group, and then myself looking at my time here on Zoom, I'll be left with 6 minutes. That 6 minutes, I'll be basically explaining this, né? So that you can see if maybe you did a mistake or if there's more clarity on that. So if you are done now as I'm speaking, don't send it. We are left with 3 minutes to go, but at 10 o'clock, please send your work on the group, né? And then from 10 o'clock, I will be doing corrections. Then after that, we'll be done. And then I will be sending you homeworks based on these ones, 36. After you are done with those ones, you can reserve them on the next session, because I owe you one session, because today's session we did only during the week. It was only 4 days. So tomorrow we might do corrections and move on. So yeah, I will be showing you more things. So these are the basic parts of sigma notation. So those who are writing, I left you 2 minutes. Are you winning, guys? Since all of you are quiet, those who are done, those who are still writing. Is it doable, or is difficult, or it's easy?
It's doable, sir. I think we are quiet because we are calculating.
Okay. Yeah, those who are writing, you're left with 1 minute. Someone is saying, should we send? Just wait exactly 10 o'clock, since we are left with 1 minute. Oh, there are actually 2 messages. Yeah, just wait for. Harden is saying you are faint. Harden, what are you saying?
I can't hear you loudly. You're very low. I don't know if you hear me the same way.
Okay, all of you, am I audible enough? All of you?
Yeah,
Yes,
during your
sir.
teaching it was fine,
Yes,
but
sir.
now
Oh, okay, cool. Okay. Yeah, at 10 o'clock, I think we are left with some few seconds. At 10 o'clock, yeah, that's 10 o'clock. Those who are done writing, you can begin to send your work. Ne? And listen to me, guys. This is maths. Ne? Just be confident with your work. If you did a mistake, there's no need of rubbing or hiding your answers, because you learn from your mistake. But everything that you wrote, just send. Whether it's right, whether it's wrong, because there's no one, though I'm going to show you the correct answer, there's no one who's wrong, there's no one who's right. The main important aspect of doing these sessions is not for competition, is to make sure that I see where you do mistakes and I assist you there. But if you're that kind of a person who doesn't want to be assisted, then I don't know how basically I can help you in that regard. But those, yeah. Okay, let me ask. Atwenga, did you send?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Harden, did you send?
what do I send? I didn't get you properly. That's what I was saying.
Oh, you send on the WhatsApp group. You take a picture where you wrote.
Oh, okay.
You send on the WhatsApp
Let me
group.
send it now.
Okay, cool.
I'll send it now.
Okay. Listen.
I'm just taking a picture right now.
Okay, cool. Magas Pelent.
I'm sending, sir.
Okay. And then there is someone connected with Samsung SM. Samsung user. I'm not sure who's that. Can you hear me? Who's connected with Samsung? I want to know your name so that I don't say Samsung user. That's why I'm mentioning you individually. So, Snentlantla, please send. Did you send Snentlantla?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Tsirelezo, did you send? Tsirelezo, did you send?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think I've covered everyone. Okay, cool.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm gonna see your answers after. So also let me write mine so that you'll see if maybe I did this, what will have been my answer. Then I'm gonna see your answers after. Ne? Okay. Let's now do the first thing. Remember, check the number of terms. N and get number at the top. Okay, n is equals to number at the top, which is 6. Minus number at the bottom, which is 1. You always add 1, right? And then it means to say your n, it should be 6. on your series, there must be 6. So you'll start at I is equals to 1. You develop a series. You'll start at I is equals to 1 up until I is equals to 6. So you say I is equals to 1, I is equals to 2, I is equals to 3, I is equals to 4, I is equals to 5, and I is equals to 6. Okay? And then from that, you now develop, okay, just a second, let me do like this. Yeah. And then from there, you develop a series, right? And then in you making sure that you develop a series, it will be what? Okay, let me start it here. It will be 3 I plus 2. That's the first one. And then you say plus. That will be 3I. Hey, I'm left with 2 minutes. Yo, plus 2. Okay, let me try to cover. Plus. And then you say 3I plus 2. Then you say plus. That will be 3I plus 2. Plus, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you say 3I plus 2. And then lastly, you say plus. You say 3I plus 2. Even if it will cut us, but that is to have a concept of how basically one must do. And then here we'll say brace, and then that will be 3. In a place of I, I'm going to put 1. Then I'm going to say plus 2. The brace, you say plus, put another brace, that will be 3. Then in the place of I, I'm going to substitute by 2, close bracket plus 2, right? And then you'll say brace plus, you put the brace, that will be 3. That will be 3. Open bracket, in the place of I, I'm going to put 3. Then you're going to say plus 2. Then say plus. You'll put the brace. You say 3 into 4. Don't worry, guys. I'm going to send you the video during the weekend. Probably latest being Sunday or tomorrow. So you'll cover everything. If maybe you had a challenge with network 2. Then you say plus brace. The other one is going to be 3, right? And then here you're going to have what? Open bracket 5 plus 2. So here is just that I don't have space. Ne? You must write it properly. The last one, it will be plus brace. That will be 3 into 6 plus 2. Just like that. And then remember now, 3 times 1 is 3 plus 2 is 5. So the first one is going to be 5 plus 3 times 2 is 6 plus 2 is 8 plus 3 times 3 is 9